Hey, buddy. Good evening. I um I heard you from across my wall. I was hearing you toss and turn, so I decided to get up and come in here and just ask how you doing. Do you need anything? Can't sleep, huh? Yeah, I get it. I mean, the only reason why I heard you was because I was doing the same thing in my room. Were you doing that because of me? No? Okay, good. See, I have to deal with that too, so. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? You have a great day and go outside, get some sun in you, eat some good food, play a little bit on your video games, and then you try and go to bed and your body's relaxed and everything, but your brain won't shut off. Yeah, I deal with that too, so you're not alone in it. Here, you want Mr. Bear? Yeah, here. Have your little cuddle buddy with you. Both of us. Just trying to sleep. We won't. We can't. Here. How about we try something? It'll be beneficial for both of us. It'll get us both tired. I'm gonna read you a book. The Goat in the Rug by Nancy Winslow Parker. Yes, I'm reading you a bedtime story. Yes, that's basically it. You're never too old to be written a bedtime story. Let's begin. My name is Geraldine, and I live near a place called Window Rock with my Navajo friend, Glen May. It's called Window Rock because it has a big round hole in it that looks like a window open to the sky. Glen May is called Glen May most of the time because it's easier to say than her native name, Glenasba. In English, that means something like female warrior, but she's really just a Navajo weaver. Excuse me. Navajo weaver. Bit of a tongue twister, if you say it fast. I guess that's why, one day, she decided to weave me into a rug. I remember it was a warm, sunny afternoon. Glen May had spent most of the morning sharpening a large pair of scissors. I had no idea what she was going to use them for, but it didn't take me long to find out. So that's her picking them up. That's her sharpening the scissors. Before I knew what was happening, I was on the ground, and Glen May was clipping off my wool in great long strands. It's called mohair, really. It didn't hurt at all, but I admit I kicked up my heels some. Very ticklish for a goat. I might have looked a little naked and silly afterwards, but my, did I feel nice and cool. So I decided to stick around and see what would happen next. That's her clipping off his wool, and that's her showing him his new look. The first thing Glen May did was chop up roots from a yucca plant. The roots made a soapy, rich lather, which she mixed them with water. Oh, sorry. When she mixed them with water, that's when it was soapy. Yeah. She washed my wool in the suds until it was clean and white. That's her smashing up the yucca plants and putting them in the water and then washing the wool. After that, a little bit of me, you might say, was hung up in the sun to dry. When my wool was dry, Glenmay took out two large square combs with many teeth. By combing my wool between these carding combs, as they're called, she removed any bits of twigs or burrs, straightened out the fibers. She told me it helped make a smoother yarn for spinning. See, there she was doing that. I had a dog that I used these types of these types of combs, and my goodness, she would there'd just be piles of her hair everywhere. We had to do it outside, but the birds liked it. I imagine all the birds in that neighborhood had her hair in it. Then Glen May carefully started to spin my wool, one small bundle at a time, into yarn. I was beginning to find out it takes a long while to make a Navajo rug. Again and again, Glen May twisted and pulled the wool. Then she spun it around a long, thin stick she called a spindle. As she twisted and pulled and spun, the finer, stronger, and smoother the yarn became. That's him sleeping on the ground, watching her, and then that's him causing a little bit of mischief while she's doing it. A few days later, Glen May and I went for a walk. She said we were going to find some special plants she would use to make dye. I didn't know what dye meant, but it sounded like a picnic to me. I do love to eat plants. That's what got me into trouble. See, there she has her list, and that's her picking up the plants, and that's in with a little basket. She has a list that says rabbit brush, wild onion, cliff rose, sumac, juniper, walnuts, and dock. It's a lot of plants. She's going to make a very colorful rug, I imagine. While Glen May was out looking for more plants, I ate every one she had already collected in her bucket. Delicious. The next day, Glen made me stay home while she walked miles to a store. She said the dye she could buy wasn't the same as the kind she makes from plants, but since I'd made such a pig of myself, it would have to do. Aw. You know, gluttonous sheep. Bad sheep. Oh well. I was really worried that she would still be angry with me when she got back. She wasn't, though, and pretty soon she had 3 big potfuls of dye boiling over a fire. Then I saw what Glen May had meant by dyeing. She dipped my white wool into one pot, and it turned pink. She dipped it in again, and it turned a darker pink. By the time she'd finished dipping it in and out, hung up to dry, it was a beautiful, deep red. There's her with her dye pots, and there's the dipping. After that, she dyed some of my wool brown, some of it black. I couldn't help wondering if those plants I'd eaten would turn all of me the same colors. While I was worrying about that, Glen May started to make our rug. She took a ball of yarn and wrapped it around and around 2 poles. I lost count when she'd reached 300 wraps. I guess I was too busy thinking about what it would be like to be the only red, white, black, and brown goat in Window Rock. There's him imagining what you think it'd look like if he had all these type of colors on the wall. It wasn't long before Glen May had finished wrapping. Then she hung the poles with the yarn on a big wooden frame. It looked like a picture frame made of logs. She called it a loom. After a whole week of getting ready to weave, Glen May started. She began weaving at the bottom of the loom. Then, one strand of yarn at a time, our rug started growing toward the top. That's that's Glen May's loom. There's him sitting there. Cute goat, ain't he? A few strands of black, a few strands of brown, a few strands of red, in and out, back and forth, until in a few days the pattern of our rug was clear to see. Our rug grew very slowly, just as every Navajo weaver before her had done for hundreds and hundreds of years. Glen May formed a design that would never be duplicated. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't he so cute? That's sweet. Then at last the weaving was finished, but not until I'd check it quite thoroughly in front and in the back, and I let Glen May take our rug off the loom. Wait, sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy. I read that wrong. Then at last the weaving was finished, but not until I'd check it quite thoroughly in front and in back did I let Glen May take our rug off the loom. Jesus. I am so sorry. This is a lot less relaxing, I imagine, because of my slip-ups. There was a lot of me in that rug. I wanted to be perfect, and it was. Since then, my wool has grown almost long enough for Glen May and me to make another rug. I hope we do very soon, because you see, there aren't too many weavers like Glen May left among the Navajos. And there's only one goat like me, Geraldine. And here you go. It looks like whoever had the book before me, I really hope that wasn't a second page, but I think it was. But, like, this was ripped. It's a bit of a shame, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. You getting tired yet, buddy? Oh. Good night, buddy. See you in the morning.